I say this a lot, but when it comes to these women and these Am I the A-hole threads, they seem to simply be wanting validation for feeling like humans. And yeah, I'm seeing this thread consistently. This woman says, Am I the a-hole for wanting a divorce after cancer? She's 35 and her husband is 36. Okay, she says, they have been married for 8 years, together for 11. We've got two kids, 6 and 8. Last year, I was diagnosed with cancer. Although the treatment was brutal, I pulled through, or so it seems for now. The truth is, things have not been smooth for the past 5 years or so. I have been trying to fit in what my husband sees as an ideal life, living in remote locations and adjusting my life to make it work for us as a family. His dream is to live by the ocean, far from people. I'm a city girl. For the sake of making it work for both of us, I've taken jobs that are well below my abilities. For him, though, it does look like it's what I wanted. It was because at this point, it was the only available thing given the compromise. This is the perfect place for this Zora Neale Hurston quote. If you are silent about your pain, they'll unalive you and say you enjoyed it. Recognize that when you don't speak up for yourself, when you do not advocate for yourself, people who have a vested interest in your silence will just go along with it. I'm just putting that out there for anybody who is keeping silent when they don't like something. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. For him, though, it does look like it's what I wanted. It was because at that point, it was the only thing available given the compromise. My husband was living his dream, not even realizing that my resentment was building up. I did bring this up many times, but he was dismissive. Things blew up 2 times. He saw me flirting with another guy, with other guys, I presume. Never kissed anyone, but it was an emotional betrayal, probably. I gave up alcohol 3 years ago to make sure I'm always in control and don't do stupid stuff that could ruin my relationship. My husband is a great father. I've never had a father like that. He loves our children and they have a great relationship. So do I with my kids. But he isn't a great partner. He asks me every day about my day, but never really listens to what I say. He keeps talking about his work, but doesn't notice me. He makes a lot more money than me, 7 to 10 times, but insists that we pay everything 50-50 to keep it fair. During the past years, I've been covering more expenses than him, and I was working full time during my treatment. He never offered to pay for any extras. In his book, there were years, my pregnancies, when I was paying less. So it's now fair that I pay more. I don't feel emotionally connected to him at all. I don't want to have intercourse with him. I have a history of abuse and I need an emotional connection to enjoy it. But for the past 5 years, he's only been touching me if and when it leads to sex. I've given in so many times and cried after it because it felt like I've betrayed myself, but I had to do it because he needs it and I'm a spouse. So now I've been still contemplating divorce for over 8 months. I'm out of treatment. I don't know if I'm going to stay healthy for a long time, but I'm tired of compromise. He is a nice guy and we're planning to start a therapy, but I just want to live a new life. Therapy seems like a burden to me. Am I the a-hole for wanting a divorce? There's so much to unpack here. I do not believe that she's an a-hole. Just because, I mean, sometimes people get married, sometimes couples break up, and there's no need to always just demonize somebody. It really isn't. But this woman says he is a great father. I've never had a father like that. So maybe her children have a good relationship with him, but she is not getting what she needs as a partner. Because if someone is going through cancer treatment, who has had pregnancies, who's needed downtime, and still expected to cover cost and be 50-50 with somebody who is making more and making way more, then it doesn't seem like he has her interest in mind. She compromised and moved to someplace that he wanted to live. So she was able to compromise. She's taken jobs less than because she needed to compromise for him. And I don't see her saying that on the flip side because she's saying they lacked an emotional connection. If you lack an emotional connection, you don't have a full partner, someone who's not seeing you or hearing you when you talk about your day, then no, this is not the person that you should be with. You can effectively co-parent with somebody like this, because you're leaving before the tensions and before the stress and before the vitriol gets to be too high. You can leave and salvage a co-parenting relationship, but this is not a marriage that will sustain. So this person says divorce him, then about half of that money is your money, as well as half the house and half of everything, plus child support. Given there's zero emotional connection, at this point, stick to math. You are better off in every way divorcing him. It's ridiculous that you pay anything or you've stuck around this long thinking that it's his money. I really don't get some of you ladies. I get loving someone and wanting to be with them, but I'm honestly curious, what gain was there to be married to someone like this? I wouldn't get married just for financial gain, but combining two households, finances, families, and the lives of two people who love each other is the main purpose of marriage. So I'm curious, what did you gain from marrying someone like this? You say you say kids, but you could have had kids anywhere with someone else. What else? Why this guy? So she responds, he is a great guy. He was funny, assertive, and romantic in the beginning. We had a shared vision of the future, but then compromise became harder, impossible. We used to travel a lot, but when we settled, he became resistant to any changes. Now I don't know what keeps me. I know that in the past, there were things in between us to live for. Relationships change. Once things change, you have to reevaluate for yourself. Is this who I want to continue to be with? You have to adjust your expectations. You have to communicate. And it is perfectly fine that when things change, that you change with it. Everything that she says is in the past tense. He was funny. He was assertive and romantic. But if he's not these things, the things that he did to get her, he's not doing to keep her. So she can change with it. And then I'll end with this comment. OP, I hope you hear me when I tell you that a man who forces his wife who is working full time during cancer treatment to pay 50-50, despite him making vastly more than she does, is not a good guy. Even without all of the information you gave, I think he's still a PRICK, not the a-hole. Absolutely not the a-hole. It is perfectly fine to want to feel a connection, to feel that someone has changed and you need to change. Stop feeling normal. Stop feeling normal emotions about a situation and then needing to seek validation about wanting to leave. It is perfectly fine to leave in this situation. When you were at your worst, when you were feeling terrible, this person still wanted you and expected you to go to work and pay bills when he had the money. That alone is enough. Walk away. Anyways, y'all go ahead, jump in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Like, comment, share.